Hey guys, Spyro, what's going on? It's Spyro here. And today we're going to be looking at Ana. What is this thing doing? Today, like I said before, we're going to be looking at Ana in a more advanced and detailed way than usual, I guess, hero overviews would go. Now, I want to talk about how you could really should use her and how you should think you should use her, and a couple of mistakes I see people doing when they try to play her, and maybe you guys can take some tips and ideas of how to play her, or better yet, the right way you should play her and the best way to play her and be successful with her. Now, I play a lot of Ana. I play her mostly in comp. I think that's probably one of my best heroes to play, other than any one of the tanks heroes, because that's what I main. But healer, I try to main Ana, and as you can see, the gold gun, I'm probably more dedicated and invested to her than playing the heroes that I main, which is mostly like Reinhardt and other tank heroes like that. So we should start off with what I think is the most important thing for Ana, and when you're trying to play her, and if you need to play her based on your team comp, or you're just trying to learn how to play her in general, and that would be the engagement range. Now, the engagement range for Ana, to keep it straight up with you, it should be far. You shouldn't, and this is gonna sound stupid, but you shouldn't be like really close to your objective. You should try to be at range, because at the end of the day, you are a range healer at that. A range healer, you are a sniper, so you got to be close to. You have to be far. You have to be far from the objective, and kind of just be shooting at your enemies, shooting at your teammates, keeping them up without putting yourself in too much danger. Now, let's say this area is the objective. This is the objective area, king of the hill, payload, whatever. The bots are the enemy team, and this is your friendly heroes on your team. Now, this isn't a bad range to be in, because you can just be hit firing. You're probably not going to be missing shots, but it's still very easy for the team, for that team to push in, kill you off first, and then you have no healer on the team. Now, obviously, it'd be different with Lucio, because Lucio's a little bit tankier. He has to be near the objective. He has his speed boost to get away. He has his secondary weapon ability, which pushes people back a good amount of distance. And you could always use ult to get away, even though that's something I would not suggest. But for Ana, you really don't have that ability. I mean, you can see that I'm jumping up around, because that's what I do when I'm close to the objective and fighting on it, to make shots, opposing enemy teams shots to be harder to fall. But in general, this is not the recommended area. Now, it'd be a lot different if I was sitting over here, kind of covered. Their team isn't really noticing that their health is going up. They'll keep shooting at them, because that's just general reaction of gamers, to keep shooting at the thing that's shooting at you, instead of shooting at what's keeping them up. So here I can just keep them up, and they're not going to die. So that your engagement rate should be far. You shouldn't be really playing really close to objective. I know if it's overtime, then you just got to jump in the objective and do your best that you can to keep the time going, and make some time for your team to spawn and make it back. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is Ana's most important and strongest ability that she has, and that is this. That it is the body grenade. That is the strongest thing she has to her disposal. I don't care even if you think the nano boost is the strongest thing she has. It is the second strongest thing she has, but it is not the strongest. The strongest is that body grenade. The ability to stop healing on a group of people at that, not just one hero, a group of people, is very powerful. And once you start figuring out the arc to it, because it has a bit of an arc, you can start figuring out how to get it along range, and that will start working along with you starting to hit and sit back, being out of harm's way, and be able to get calculated shots to get easy kills with your fellow teammates. Because once you remove healing from anybody, they are an easy target. And once you, especially if you're competitive and you start calling out who you're debuffing, is even a bigger advantage. But you gotta learn when to drop it and when to use it, because when you use it, it's a 10-second cooldown, and 10 seconds is a very long time in this game. And like I mentioned before, that's a very important ability, because not only does it debuff enemies, it can really save your team in a pinch, especially if you combine it with other healing abilities, because it multiplies them too. like that, instantly full health on 2 people and extremely fast, and I don't even have a Lucio or another healer to help me with that. So you gotta know when to use that body grenade. And my recommendation, based on my playstyle and what I've learned, I'd use the body grenade more on enemies than I would to heal friendlies, because the best thing to heal friendlies on your team is your biotic rifle. It can, if you land your shots, you're out healing a Mercy who has a constant stream. So there's that, and always kind of just chuck the grenade at enemies. I think that's the best way, because that way you'll get kills and you'll get elimination assists and kills, and it'll help get your ult faster. Now the third thing I want to talk about is your sleeping dart, and you really have to get good at kind of timing it, calculating, because it kind of takes a while for her to pull up the sleeping dart. Sleeping dart lasts a good amount of time. It should last about 4 to 5 seconds, and maybe 6 max. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you really have to get used to it. And my recommendation would be that you save it for these 3 different scenarios. You save it when you get singled out by an opposing team or opposing hero, flanker, or whatever, because you're healing, and as a healer you gotta know there's always a big target on your back. You save it for that. Just save it to save yourself, basically. And that, because Ana doesn't have a escape mechanism. She can't jump up, she can't teleport, she can't fly, she can't run away, she has no sprint, no nothing. The sleeping dart is literally the only thing that's going to save you. Imagine this is a tank coming at me. The sleeping dart is the only thing that's going to save me. And you'll see it in a couple clips I showed before. So you really have to save that sleeping dart, and don't just try to waste it at long range. The next thing would be to stop kind of a rampaging tank, a nano boosted ring, a diva that's kind of pushing on you, a Winston that's jumping on top of you. That's what I would save it for, because those are the game wreckers that can kill your defense and kill off too many teammates really fast, and just force a 3v6 or 4v6 that you don't want to be in, especially if you are Ana. And the third situation would be to save it for healers. If you notice that a healer's kind of just jumping around the objective, try to sleep them and get a kill on them, and do the wombo combo, as I like to call it, where you sleep them, get the biotic grenade, limit their healing, and get the kill and eliminate the healer for the team. Now I want to move on to some clips that I have of me playing Ana and what I do and I do wrong and or right. Alright, so now we're in a game. We're in the second round of competitive match playing Ana. As you can see, I'm going to be following one of the main rules that I put out in the first part of the video, where I said you should keep your engagement range far, and I'm in an elevated position at a very not very far from my team, but at a good range. And here I have a good vantage point. Like I said, range healer is sniper hero. You need to have a good vantage point. I can see the enemy, I can see the Reaper teleporting, I can see if my tanks are fine, I can see if my healers are fine, my team is fine. I can see if there's someone flanking to the right, even though I do a terrible job when someone flanks me, but I keep an eye out to the point where I try to prevent people flanking my team, even though that Reaper kind of really sneaks up on me, and that's a complete failure on my part. Like I said in the previous part of the video before, try not to use your sleep dart in something useless, because you saw before I kind of slept that diva, gave me a chance to go in there and heal my teammates and kind of debuff the rain and maybe prevent more people pushing up. You can see there I missed my grenade, and that's not a very good thing. The next thing I want to point out is that I'm not really spamming my grenade to use it, just to use it. Like, I'm saving it in case someone really gets in trouble, like the Mercy gets really low on health, and I was like, okay, I just have to use it for a burst of healing. But in general, I try to use it on enemy heroes, debuff them, make it easier to eliminate them, because kills in this game will get you wins in a better matchup. Because if you can get it to a 6v5 and your team has a 6, it is easy. You see here, debuff him first before healing. It works out because now he can't heal. Boost the Reinhardt, let the Reinhardt get some kills here and there. I get saved by my diva, which is great. Here comes the You got to be good at aiming, get the Reaper, and keep the D.Va up. At this point right now, I think most of my strategies have worked. I think the only one that's failed is the sleeping dart. I miss a lot of sleeping darts here, except for the D.Va. Except the D.Va that kind of chased me, but I miss my sleeping darts on the Reaper that flanks, and I miss a couple sleeping darts on tanks that are becoming really aggressive. But yeah, this is kind of like what you should try to play at. Have the battle in front of you. That's all. That's what I mean. Like don't be in the battle. Like Ana just isn't meant to be in the battle. She's meant to be at a range, and that's what will get you That's what will get you killed in most situations, and kind of be useless as an Ana. If you play too close to the objective, you're gonna get picked off really quick, because kind of in close range is really hard. I mean, once you start kind of mastering her hip fire and your hip fire accuracy goes up, you can really kind of escape, like you saw the Reaper kill I got a little bit forward. But other than that, keep your range. Don't use your body grenade unwillingly, and make sure you get good with your sleeping darts. So yeah, that's my tips and advanced advice for playing Ana. I hope you guys liked it, enjoy it, give me feedback in the comment section, and whatever I need to improve on. And take care, guys.